Nazzarios, Metal from the Rock.
Serate di interviste di Nazzarios Metal from the Rock. Siamo dal vivo su Spreaker e anche Metal Maximum Radio. Sinceramente oggi abbiamo un grandissimo onore di avere ai nostri microfoni al grande Steve Mann, chitarrista, tastierista di Lionheart e anche di Michael Schenker, quindi un grandissimo piacere. Hi Steve, how are you doing? Welcome to Nazzarios.
Hi, I'm doing very well, thank you. Great to talk to you.
Oh, it's a real pleasure. Hope you don't get offended with this, but you are an old wolf of heavy metal, so it's it's a pleasure having you here and talk to you about your experience and your career.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, thank you. That is why, because you are miles away. If not, you give me a punch.
I would never punch you.
Ok, thank you. Le stavo dicendo quindi a Steve che lui è una vecchia volpe del heavy metal e quindi sinceramente è un piacere averlo qui. Spero che non si offenda, spero che se eravamo qui vicini l'uno con l'altro magari mi davi un pugno, ma mi dice no, non ti darò mai un pugno. So Steve, let's start from the beginning. Lionheart was formed by you, Dennis Stratton from Iron Maiden and Jess Cox. There were also Rocky Newton and Frank Noon. That was the initial formation for the band.
Yes, that was. When we got together, it was because Jess and Dennis had met, and Jess had just left the Tigers of Pantang, and Dennis had just left Iron Maiden. I had auditioned for Tigers of Pantang, but John Sykes got the job, who later went on to Whitesnake, and I came second. So Jess kept my phone number, and then when he left Tigers of Pantang and joined up with Dennis, he gave me a call, and that's how the three of us got together. Rocky and Frank were together in a band called Wildfire, and I think somebody recommended them to us, and they came down during the first week that we were rehearsing, and everything just worked with them. So so that's how that first lineup came together.
Perfect. Quindi Lionheart è stato formato da lui, anche un altro musicista molto conosciuto come lo è Dennis Stratton degli Iron Maiden e Jess Cox dei Tigers of Pantang. Finiva anche la formazione Rocky Newton e Frank Noon. Steve ci racconta anche che ha fatto un'audizione per Tigers of Pantang e che poi purtroppo è arrivato secondo, visto anche il fatto che Sykes è andato a Whitesnake. Penso che sia stata la maniera nella quale si sono trovati tutti per formare questo super gruppo come lo è Lionheart. There were also a lot of changes in the formation, but reading the biography of the band, I saw Les Binks from Judas Priest and NWOBHM in the formation.
We had a lot of people in the band. Les Binks was a good friend of mine anyway, and so we invited Les to come down and play with us for a while. NWOBHM had just left Trust, and it was just before he joined Iron Maiden, and he joined forces with us. I think he was in the band for a few months, and we just kind of split by mutual agreement because his style of drumming wasn't really exactly what we were looking for. It was very suited to a band like Iron Maiden, but it wasn't really. We were more kind of maybe slightly Americanized and groove
Yeah.
groovist, and so it wasn't. Nico was a lovely, lovely guy. We love, and we still get on with him. I still keep in contact with Nico, and but it just wasn't kind of quite working with him, and so we parted company. And I think it was literally 2 or 3 days after we'd split that he got the offer from Iron Maiden to join. So it all worked out perfectly.
Oh, you make a favor to Maiden. If not, that fate will be changed, no? Quindi c'era un'apprezzazione nella biografia di Lionheart che sinceramente mi ha chiamato l'attenzione, visto il fatto che hanno cambiato tanto la formazione della band. Un paio di questi batteristi sono stati Les Binks dei Judas Priest all'epoca e Nico McBrain, che era appena uscito dai Trust e stava per entrare negli Iron Maiden. Senza batteristi stavano questi ragazzi di Lionheart. Ci racconta Steve che sinceramente un po' Nico non inquadrava nello stile della band, e loro volevano uno stile più americano con più groove, e quindi è stato un mutuo accordo. Questo pensate che il destino che ha cambiato, le dicevo io, che dopodiché Nico McBrain entra a far parte di Iron Maiden, tutti già sappiamo la storia. Steve, somehow I don't know, you are familiar with the super groups always. Michael Schenker group was one of them too in your career.
Absolutely. I somehow seem to manage to join forces with my favorite musicians. It's just something that's kind of, I've been very fortunate, I suppose, and certainly Michael Schenker was, during Lionheart days, we were all very big fans of the first 2 albums from Michael, and we used to play Michael Schenker on loop in our tour bus, the first 2 albums, and so we just got to know all the songs that way. And in 1986, which was about a year after Lionheart had broken up, I just got the call and said, "Do you want to come over to Hanover and record the demos that Michael Schenker's putting together?" And of course, I said yes. And I was there for about a week or 2 weeks. And at the end of that time, when I'd done the keyboards parts and my guitar parts from the demos, Michael said, "Well, I'm putting a band together for touring. I really like what you do. Do you want to join the band?" And I of course jumped at the chance, and that's how I got to play with probably one of my favorite guitar players of all time.
Yeah.
So that was a very great experience for me.
Wow. Sincerely, it's one of my two, and you record also. You write for Michael Schenker. Sorry, for Macaulay Schenker group, the ballad "Anytime," no?
That's right. Yes, I did. Yeah, I wrote that together with Robin McCauley.
Yeah. When you arrived, it was still Michael Schenker group, or was already Macaulay Schenker group?
It was already the Macaulay Schenker group. Robin had joined, I think, about 4 or 5 months before I did. So Robin was the first to join together with Michael. And then Rocky from Lionheart, bass player from Lionheart, joined next, and it was Rocky that then gave Michael my telephone number, and that's how I then came to join. And then Bodo Schopp, the drummer, was the last to join.
Perfect. Quindi entriamo già un po' nella era Macaulay Schenker Group, nella carriera di Steve, che le dicevo, tu sei proprio familiarizzato con i super gruppi, cioè stiamo parlando di gente che ha suonato in Def Leppard, in UFO, cioè gente che sa quello che fa, e lui si vede sempre coinvolto in questi gruppi, e lui lo dice sinceramente, ho avuto il grande piacere di suonare con i musicisti che anche ammiravo, no? che mi piacevano in quel periodo, in quella epoca. Dice, i primi 2 album di Michael Schenker suonavano sempre in continuazione sul mio stereo, e allora è stato un piacere avere quella chiamata, e ho saltato e ho colto al volo questa opportunità che anche Rocky le ha dato nel senso, perché è stato partecipe, dandogli un consiglio a Michael Schenker, e ricevendo questa telefonata ha anche inserito dei demo per la band, e la grandissima ballad Anytime, che ti viene la pelle d'oca quando l'ascolti. Sinceramente un brano spettacolare. Lui è entrato quando già praticamente il gruppo era cambiato da Michael Schenker a Macaulay Schenker Group, rimanendo comunque sempre quelle le iniziali caratteristiche MCG del gruppo. Steve, I have a little game to do with you. It's I don't know, I have 2 legends here, or true stories. I don't know if perhaps you can say if it's a legend or a true story. You ready?
I'll try. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. It's true that you played some parts on an album for Saxon.
Yes, actually backing vocals. And
okay.
this is back. I've forgotten which albums they were, but there were 2 albums, because Saxon were very good friends of ours back in the 1980s, and so they asked us to come down. This is myself, Dennis, and Rocky, to come down and do the backing vocals on their album. And that went so well, they then asked us to do the next album as well. I remember there was a Christopher Cross song. What was it? I can't remember. But we did the backing vocals for the whole of these 2 albums. So, but didn't actually play on the album. But my guitar was used on Wheels of Steel. Because I had a Fender Stratocaster at the time, and neither Graham or Paul had a guitar with a tremolo arm, and they wanted to do some kind of weird effects and things on Wheels of Steel on one of the tracks, and so they called me and said, "Look, could we borrow your Stratocaster?" I said, "Of course you can," and I thought they were just going to do a solo on it, and they gave it back, and it was all out of tune, and the strings were all over the place. And I think they'd kind of given it some serious abuse. But I forgave them. I said, "Don't worry, that's fine. I can get it back in order again." But I think when I heard the album, I think they were doing some serious stuff with my guitar, which it was probably better that I didn't see what they were doing.
Wow, what a story! So this give me two pleasure. One, that we make this difference between legend and true story, and the second one is that I wrote this on Wikipedia. So it gives me the chance that believe that Wikipedia is not trash always.
No, it does have some true things on it.
Yeah, you're right. Quindi cominciamo questo giochetto un po' con Steve Mann. Le dicevo, voglio farti 2 domande, sono 2 leggende o 2 storie vere. Vediamo se tu me le puoi raccontare. La prima le ho chiesto se veramente aveva suonato o partecipato a qualche album dei Saxon, perché questo non compare dappertutto, e lui ci racconta che sì, che all'epoca non si ricorda bene, è stato in 2 album che ha fatto i cori, i backing vocals, come si suol dire, e quindi troviamo e portiamo alla luce un po' questa verità, che lui ha fatto i cori per i Saxon, che all'epoca negli 80s, negli anni 80 erano molto amici, e poi viene fuori un altro fatto, che la sua Stratocaster è stata utilizzata per Wheels of Steel, quindi uno dei classiconi dei Saxon, che sinceramente questo manco lo sapevo. Racconta che la sua Stratocaster aveva un suono particolare che loro volevano utilizzare e che non avevano, e allora gliel'hanno chiesto. È sinceramente molto, molto bella questa storia. So, second legend or true story? It's true that this one I like very much. Hope it's true.
So do I.
It's true that you recorded a solo for the demo of Beyond the Realms of Death together with your friend Les Binks.
Oh, is this the song that Les wrote for Judas Priest?
Yeah, he's co-credited in this.
Song. Yes, that is true. You're coming up with a lot of true stories today.
I'm very true. I'm very Manowar in this.
No, that's as I said, I was very good friends with Les. We used to spend a lot of spare time together. And he called me one time while he was in Judas Priest and said, "Look, I've written this song, and I need to play it to the rest of the band as a complete song. And could you do the guitar on it?" So I went down and I played the guitar and did the solo on it, and that became the demo that Les played to the band. So yes, that one's true as well, Christian. Well done.
Wow. I'm becoming to feel that I'm a real journalist.
Yeah, I think because no, you can't be a real journalist because you tell the truth.
Yeah,
no, that was a joke.
So, quindi seconda leggenda o verità, questa mi piace tanto, per chi ha capito l'inglese sinceramente ha già scoppiato in gioia. Le chiedevo se era verità che lui ha fatto uno dei solo per il demo di un altro classicone di Judas Priest come Beyond the Realms of Death. La storia racconta che Les Binks ha scritto questa canzone, no? E l'ha proposta alla band, e che Halford poi ha messo i testi. Les Binks figura come uno di quelli che l'ha scritto, co-scritto come si dice, e la leggenda o storia vera diceva che Steve aveva messo un solo per quel demo che dopo è andato a finire nella vera canzone dei Judas Priest, e lui ci racconta che questo è vero, e con grande piacere lo ricevo, perché sinceramente questi sono piccoli particolari e perle che vengono fuori dal nulla, e che fa piacere avere più che altro dalla bocca di un artista diretto come lo è Steve. So Steve, we leave this game behind. And
Shame, I was having fun.
yeah, me too. Hope I was find some more legends or true stories, but this was enough in this.
Okay.
But we will focus some more on Lionheart, because it's your present and the good present of the band. How did you reunite? I read that you made a show, and after that seems that the magic is still there, and you put again the band to make some new music.
Yes, that's exactly how it was. There's a festival in the UK called Rockingham, and one of the promoters, Dave Heron, was a Lionheart fan, and he knew Rocky, and he contacted Rocky and said, "What do you think the chances would be of getting Lionheart to come back together again for one show to reunite?" And
Yeah.
Rocky said, "Well, I'll phone the other guys and I'll ask them and I'll let you know." So Rocky phoned each one of us, and Dennis and I immediately said, "Yes, I think it's a great idea." Clive Edwards was immediately on board. He thought it was a great idea. Chad, who was the original singer, isn't in the music business anymore, so he turned it down, which really turned out quite beneficial for us because we then got Lee Small on vocal.
Yeah.
And, so we got together. We had 2 days of rehearsal just before the Rockingham Festival. And you're exactly right with the magic. When we first got together for the rehearsal, we played, I think it was Wait for the Night. And as soon as we finished, we looked at each other and we said, wow, it's like we've never stopped. The magic was still there. We all had goosebumps on our arms. And we just said, this is absolutely fantastic. So we had a great 2 days of rehearsal. We played the Rockingham Festival. We had some technical problems, but we just laughed our way through it, and it just had a good time. And at the end of it, we had a lot of people come up to us and say it was so great to see Lionheart again. And I think what surprised us more than anything else was just how many people remembered Lionheart. We thought that we were long gone and long forgotten. And on Facebook, we had a lot of people messaging us and saying, we saw you at the festival at Rockingham, or we've seen you on YouTube, and you've got to keep going. And we had some journalists also, namely Dave Ling and Rob Evans, who came to us and said, look, that was fantastic. Why don't you think about recording a new album? And we hadn't really thought about it. And so we discussed it between us, and we thought, well, why not? Let's go ahead and see what comes out. And 6 months later, 7 months later, we finished the album, and we were very, very happy with the way it turned out. But I think that the thing for us is the magic is most definitely still there, and probably it's there more than it ever was. It's a very, very magical feeling between the core members of the band, and we get on with each other. We're very, very good friends. We have great respect for each other, musically and socially, and it's just, we're very happy with the way it's going.
Oh, good. This is the more important thing, I think, for a band, have this chemical between you and the other guys, because it's like a family, no?
That's exactly it. And I've been in many bands, and some bands have felt like a family, and other bands have felt not quite so much like a family. Yeah. But certainly Lionheart was always a band that I felt we were really good close mates. So we used to do things together socially when we weren't working with the band, and we were like just a bunch of friends that also had to make music together. And we hadn't seen each other. I mean, I'd seen Rocky obviously with Michael Schenker, but I hadn't seen Dennis for a long, long time, and I hadn't seen Clive for a long time. And when we all got together, it just felt so, as I say, like we'd never really stopped seeing each other. It just carried on from where it stopped in 1985. And when Lee came into the band, the magic carried on with him. He was, I think, quite obviously exactly the right person for the band, as well as having a fantastic voice. He's very much like us. He's got the same kind of mentality as us, and he just came in, and he was like immediately a family member as well. So I think that's a very good way of describing it, is to say that it's like a family. Yeah.
Perfect. And the other thing that came out is the proof that the people of the crowd, the public of heavy metal is a very nostalgic listener. I don't know if you know what I mean. You tell us that the fans didn't remind us still, even from all these years, but it's the proof that the Metallian, the rocker, have this nostalgic side and always listen to old albums and bands.
I think that's one of the great things about the whole metal and rock community is that's how they are. It's they find bands that they like, and I think with other types of music, especially pop music, you like one band one week and another band another week, and you just go on and after a couple of years you've forgotten the bands that you used to like, and you very much, which is also fine. I mean, if that's how people like to be, I've got no problem with that. But
sure.
One of the great things about rock and metal fans is that once they like a band, that's it. They never ever forget you, and I think that's one of the things that really took us by surprise. Was we kind of forgot that's the case, and we just thought, well, nobody's going to remember Lionheart because that was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And suddenly we had all of these people saying to us, it's so great to see the band back together again, and it's so good seeing you on stage with Dennis and Rocky and Clive again, and we saw you back at the Marquee in the 1980s, and we always wanted you to get back together again. And it's this, once people like you as a band, that's it, you stay with them forever. And I think that's one of the great things about metal and rock fans that makes everybody one big happy family. That's how it feels. It's a big community, and we love that.
Yeah, absolutely. Quindi andiamo per parte. Prima il rincontro di Lionheart, che è stato attraverso un festival, un promotore li ha invitati a suonare a un festival dalle loro parti, si sono chiamati e si sono riuniti sopra questo palco, hanno fatto le prove per 2 giorni solamente, e questa chimica, questa magia si è ritrovata lì nella band. Poi è stato non per caso diciamo la perdita tra virgolette del cantante originale, visto il fatto che fuori da questo ambiente e l'arrivo degli alle voci, che le ha dato un tocco eccezionale secondo il parere di Steve Mann, e che le ha fatto bene alla band. Cioè, io le dicevo, siete come una famiglia, visto e sentendoti parlare, quella magia si è ritrovata dopo tanto tempo. E poi l'altro fatto che i fans e quelli che li hanno ascoltato 30-35 anni fa stavano ancora lì a sentirli, e con lo stesso fuoco per la loro musica, e questo ci portava anche a parlare del fatto e la prova che il metallaro, il rockettaro è molto nostalgico, cioè è molto le piace rivivere e tirare fuori vecchie glorie del passato, e non dimentica, e sempre sta lì all'orlo della battaglia per ascoltare tanti bei brani sia del passato, del presente, del futuro, che no, vedevamo questa questo modo di comportarsi, no? Che tanto ci piace nella nostra comunità, e che quindi ha portato a giornalisti, pubblico, fans a chiedergli di ritornare sulle scene. Lo hanno parlato, lo hanno pensato, e subito dopo viene fuori questo Second Nature, che oggi abbiamo ormai uscito 25 agosto, se non ricordo male. Steve, how was the process of the new recording? Can you tell us about it, and the subsequently live shows in Japan with Praying Mantis, no?
That's right. It all happened very quickly. because we were completely unprepared for doing an album. And after Rockingham, as I say, when we decided to get going on an album, I've got my own studio. So basically, my studio was the basis for recording the album, and we did a lot over the internet. Lee has got his own small studio, and he would record his vocals at his studio, then send the tracks over to me, and I would then fly them into the main track here. Dennis and Rocky came over to Hanover here for a few days, and we spent a few days recording all of the backing vocals. One of the things that was worrying us was that we didn't have the material. We thought, how are we going to get a whole album together in the space of a few months? And so we were a little bit worried about that. That's actually one reason why we decided to do Don't Pay the Ferryman, because that was obviously a cover. But we had this magical thing happen. Once we started to write songs, and Lee was involved, and Lee is a brilliant, not only a brilliant singer, he's a fantastic creative songwriter too. He works best, and we all work best when we work with other people. And we just found this great relationship with Lee and between all of us, where the songs just started to come. It was like they were, being gifted to us from somewhere. And we suddenly found that we had no problem just getting all of these songs together very, very quickly. And none of them, we were absolutely determined that none of the songs on the album would be a filler song. We didn't, if any song felt like we were just putting it there just to fill some space, we took it off again. And I'm not sure we actually ended up with any fillers. I think every song that we wrote together, and again, we would have a process where I would come up with a riff, or Dennis would come up with an idea, or whatever, or one of us would record it, send it to the others. We would then all put in ideas, and we just found that this whole way of working across the internet actually worked very, very well for us. I think some bands maybe it doesn't work so well, but we were very comfortable working that way. And so we just found that a lot of the material came very, very naturally and very, very quickly. And so I think our initial idea was to just put together a quick album. And of course, once we started getting intensely involved in it, and we became more and more proud of what we were doing, we realised actually, we should spend more and more time on this and get this sounding very, very good, because we were very excited with the way things were working out. With the Japan tour, there's quite a funny story behind that. The agent, the booking agent for Michael Schenker, because I was in Japan last year, last August with Michael Schenker, and I kept in contact with the booking agent, and I wrote to her and just, as a matter of interest, said, what do you think the market would be like for Lionheart in Japan? I just wanted to see if she could tell us if there was any interest there or not. And she thought I was asking for a tour. And so she wrote back and she said, well, I'm not sure that I can tour Lionheart on their own, but if you want to come over with Praying Mantis, then I'm sure we can put something together. And I thought, right, I'm not going to say anything here. I'm just going to say, okay, we'll do that then.
Sure.
And so she completely misunderstood my email. And because she misunderstood it, she gave us a tour. And so we went over to Japan with Praying Mantis, and it was fantastic. We had an amazing time over there. Lots of people came out to see us, and we then talked to King Records, who said, oh yeah, we definitely want to release your album because we love Lionheart, we hear you're coming here on tour. So everything just worked out for us.
Fix perfect.
Yeah, everything worked perfectly. So this could be a long answer to this, so I hope you've got a good minute.
Don't worry.
So we found that we had this, we had to get this, the album finished in time for the Japanese tour. So that then meant that we had to work, we were kind of working 8-10 hours a day to get the album finished. And we we just got it finished nicely in time, and we were very, very happy with it. And do you want to translate that first, and then there's one more thing I'd like to say to that?
Yes, sure. Le chiedevo a Steve di come era stato il processo del registrare questo nuovo album e anche dei loro tour insieme a Praying Mantis. Sapete, la band nella quale suona degli Stratton, sono stati insieme in Giappone. Allora ci racconta che questo ritrovarsi lì sullo studio si porta dietro lo stesso patrone di quello che parlavamo prima, quella magia di fare tutto insieme di nuovo. Hanno utilizzato molto l'internet anche per passarsi delle tracce e lavorare insieme, cosa che ad altre band, dice lui, magari le dà un po' più di problemi. Qui a loro le ha funzionato benissimo, e anche l'entrata di Lee Small nel comporre un po' i pezzi le ha dato un tocco diverso, perché dice che non è solo un buonissimo cantante, sino anche che compone benissimo e si trova benissimo insieme a loro, e che il tour con Praying Mantis è stato un po' una storia molto da raccontare. Lui ride perché le ha mandato una mail alla booking manager di promozioni di Michael Schenker dicendogli tutt'altro proprio, e lei ha capito che le aveva mandato una mail per fare un tour. Invece dice: io ti posso mettere insieme a Praying Mantis che vengono adesso in Giappone, e lui molto sorpreso le ha detto: vabbè, lasciami vedere che si può fare, no? Come dicendo per non dirgli sì subito, ha fissato proprio tutto in perfezione, visto il fatto che sono andati là, hanno suonato per tanta gente e poi gli hanno anche chiesto di fare uscire il loro album da quelle parti, cosa che sappiamo tutti come i giapponesi consumano terribilmente anche la musica di più melodica. So we can continue with your story, Steve.
Yes. Yeah, there's just one part I wanted to add to that, and that is that back in the 80s, 30 years ago, when we were working as a band, we had an awful lot of bad luck. We seemed to get in with the wrong management company, and the record company didn't really understand what we wanted to do, and we just had an awful lot of things that could have gone right for us and didn't go right. And we were supposed to do a support tour with Styx, and that fell through, and just everything, it didn't seem to be the right time for Lionheart. What's happened in the last year for us, or nearly a year, everything has gone right. And where it didn't happen for us 30 years ago, it seems now, this seems to be Lionheart's time. And we've just found that everything has just led from one thing to another, to another, to another. And we're very grateful, I think is the word, with the way things have been running over this last year, and just how things have just gone from strength to strength. And when we've needed things, they've appeared for us. And when we looked for a record contract, we had the record contract. It just seems to, this seems to be Lionheart's time now. So where it didn't happen for us 30 years ago, I think it's going to happen for us very well this time.
I understand. Quindi ci racconta anche che dice: tempo fa, negli anni 80, quando stavamo con i contratti su altre etichette, cose varie, ci hanno successo tanti problemi, i quali hanno portato a Lionheart di sciogliersi, come abbiamo visto purtroppo, ma sembra che questo sia proprio il momento di Lionheart. Cioè stiamo parlando di che, non so, fanno un tour e va bene, fanno l'album e va bene, tutto quello che fanno prospera, quindi sembra proprio il tempo. Invece trasladati gli anni 80 ai 2000, e sembra che questo sia il tempo di Lionheart, ci racconta Steve Mann. Steve, can I make you the last question, because we almost in the time, but if you give me the permission.
I certainly do.
Okay. I appreciate very much the bands that want to take to the scene some positive lyrics and vibes, no? I don't know. I'm a believer. I want to have and follow without religion. I don't know, a relationship with Jesus. This is my kind of style of life, no? And I saw this in your lyrics and in your work always. We all know that the musician have a precious mission to me for being on a stage and influence people. What do you think about that? What is the mission of Steve Mann, like as a musician?
I'm very, very glad you asked me this question, because it's something that's very close to my heart and very important to me. I've always liked to play music that has uplifted people. I'm not one of these people that likes to produce dark music or music that brings you down.
Yeah.
But I think over the last 10, 15 years maybe, it's become very, very important to me. And I think there's a lot of things going on in the world today that we don't like, and we wish that things would change. I think we all know how dark the world has become, and I think it's very, very important that if we are in a position that we can go against this darkness somehow and put some light, some love, some positiveness into life in whatever way we do it best. I think that's very important to do that, whether you're an artist or whatever career you're involved in, you can do this. And for me, it's through music, and it's very, very important for me. And before we started the Lionheart album, we actually said those words. We said, let's do an album that gives people positiveness. Let's do an album that brings people a feeling of love and happiness, because there's so much in the world that is bringing people down. Let's try and bring people up, and that's what we really, really wanted to do. And that's one of the main reasons why the first track on the album, or just after the prelude, was Give Me the Light, because that really is what we wanted Lionheart to be about, what we wanted the whole album to be about, is that it brings you light and happiness. Now, I haven't said this to anybody else before, so this is an exclusive. On the album, there is a secret message.
Yeah, like the Beatles. No.
Like the Beatles or like Black Sabbath or whatever, there's a secret message on the album somewhere. No one has found it.
Wow.
So I've decided that now's the time to tell people it's on the album there somewhere. So if you can find it, then I hope you listen to what the message says and understand that that's what Lionheart is all about.
Wow, how can we do this? What track?
You have to listen very carefully to the album and see if you can find them. But I'm not giving any more clues. If people don't find it after another couple of months, I'll start to give some clues.
Perfect.
But I haven't told anybody. You're the first person I've told. There is a hidden message on the album somewhere.
Wow. Le chiedevo a Steve, visto il fatto, voi tutti sapete la visione del nostro programma, e io le dicevo, io apprezzo molto le band che vogliono portare cose positive alla scena, no? Con i testi, con quello che loro con l'esempio, e che come ogni musicista hanno una missione preziosa di stare lì sopra il palco e influenzare le persone. Le chiedevo che pensa di questo, visto che l'ho raccontato anch'io del mio rapporto con Gesù senza religione. Lui ci dice: hai dato proprio nel chiodo, no? Perché noi prima di fare questo album ci siamo riuniti e abbiamo parlato di portare luce, amore, di portare pace, visto il fatto che questo mondo si sta tornando buio e allora 10 o 15 anni fa questo è venuto proprio al mio cuore come artista e musicista, di farlo con la mia musica, di esprimermi in questa maniera, quindi dice, hai dato proprio nel posto giusto, perché questo album è fatto e strutturato per questo, per portare felicità alle persone, ed è questo un po' la missione di Steve Mann e Lionheart in questi tempi. C'è un'esclusiva totale che ci dice che proprio dentro dell'album c'è un messaggio nascosto da scoprire, e quindi tutti quelli noi che abbiamo l'album e lo stiamo ascoltando, dice lì c'è un messaggio molto importante nascosto che ancora non l'avevo detto da nessuna parte. Questa è una esclusiva per Nazarios, quindi andremo ad ascoltare molto molto bene l'album per sentire che ci hanno lasciato lì inserito i Lionheart. But Steve, you were mean in what thing? In one thing. You send Dennis Stratton even to the moon. So you
we did, yeah. We went.
so you're not so good. Eh?
Well, no, we made sure he had a ticket to come back again. Dennis had always wanted to go to the moon, so we said, okay, now's your chance.
like Savage Garden, no? Flying to the moon and back, no?
Exactly. No, it was a nice thing to do. He always wanted to go there.
Scherzavo con Steve perché nella pagina loro ufficiale di Facebook mettono sempre un Photoshop di Dennis Stratton che sta a Parigi, che sta in Olanda, che sta dappertutto, e l'hanno mandato anche alla Luna, e scherzavo, dico non sei tanto così buono perché l'hai mandato sulla Luna a Dennis. Ok Steve, we're done. It was a real pleasure to have you here. Hope we can make another interview in the future, or perhaps meeting in person.
Yeah, it was a great pleasure to talk to you, Christian, and I certainly hope we can do it again in the near future. And I'm sure if Lionheart get the chance to come to Italy, or if you're over our way sometime, then we'll get to meet up, definitely.
Perfect. I hope so. We give you a hug, we bless you, and thank you very much for being here.
I look forward to it, and thank you very much too.
Noi rimaniamo quindi ad ascoltarci un paio di brani e questo hard rock che ti arriva fino al cuore, tratto dall'album Second Nature, suona su Nazarios Lionheart.
Nazarios, metal from the rock.